What's going on? Welcome into My Take Is. Thank you for clicking on the video. Do me one more favor, subscribe. It's free. We do a lot of college football, and I promise you will enjoy it. USC playing at Oregon on Saturday. This is the game of the day. On CBS, 3:30, just like the old days when CBS had the best SEC game of the day. If USC wins at Oregon, then they are a college football playoff team. Okay, they're going to move from 15th probably to like 10th or something like that. And if Oregon wins, then USC's college football playoff hopes are gone, and Oregon has a real case to be the highest ranked one-loss team in college football because I think USC is a legitimately good football team. They're ranked 15th right now in the college football playoff poll. I like USC. I'm very impressed with what Lincoln Riley has done, bringing them back to relevance. I understand he hasn't made a college football playoff yet, and from that perspective, he's underachieved. With that being said, USC wasn't sniffing the college football playoff before he got there, right? And he built a team that was built to win in the Pac-12, and then they joined the Big Ten, and it's taken him a year to make that adjustment. And I think he's done a good job of adjusting to a much more physical Big Ten compared to that Pac-12 conference where everyone scored 50 points or more what seemed like every single Saturday night. Here's the issue, though, for USC and why they're not going to win this football game. The same thing that led to Lincoln Riley losing college football playoff games when he was at Oklahoma is what's going to lead him to losing in Eugene on Saturday afternoon. Oregon is elite on both sides of the football. They have an excellent offense, especially when healthy, and they're getting healthier. And look, it's Dan Lanning. That defense is always going to be good. USC is only elite on offense. Their defense, not so much. I would put that USC offense up against anyone in college football and feel pretty good about it. They're going to score points against Oregon, even though that Oregon defense is nasty. They have the number one ranked passing defense in college football. They're 20th against the run. They're third in total defense. They're sixth in all of college football in points allowed per game at 13.7 points per game. It's a nasty defense. But none of it matters because they're playing Lincoln Riley, and Lincoln Riley just knows how to score points. He's done it everywhere he's been. They don't have the horses on defense, though, USC. I expect for Oregon's elite offense to march up and down the field all day long, and Oregon's elite defense will come away with 3 or 4 stops, and Oregon's going to win this game by 2 touchdowns. USC is outside of the top 40 in every major defensive stat. Oregon is 7th in the country in rushing offense, 8th in total offense, and 4th in total points per game. They're not great at throwing the football. They're 56th, but part of that is all the injuries that they've had at receiver. DeCorian Moore is Oregon's leading receiver. He's missed their last 2 games. He's potentially going to be back this week. Kenyon Sadiq is a monster at tight end. He didn't play, or he returned last week against Minnesota after missing the game against Iowa. He's going to play again this week. Gary Brandt Jr. could potentially return this week. If Oregon's healthy at wide receiver, then they're going to open it up and they're going to throw the football all over the yard against this USC team. That's what I'm expecting. If Oregon's healthy, they're going to throw it all over the yard. If they're not, then they're just going to run it right down USC's throat. It's the only way that it's going to happen. Okay, and this USC secondary gives up a lot of big plays. A lot of them. And Dante Moore, look, they beat Penn State. Everyone loved Dante Moore. He should be the number 1 overall pick. And then they lost to Indiana. And we haven't heard much about Dante Moore since. But he's still very talented, still a very good young quarterback. I'm taking Oregon because just of the simple fact that I can trust them on both sides of the ball, where I can't really do that with USC. They give up too many big plays. They're not super dominant at the line of scrimmage. I don't think that their pass rush is great. With that being said, USC does have a path to victory because they can score points. They have to force turnovers. That's really what it is. If Oregon, turns the football over 2 or 3 times and USC wins the turnover battle, then USC is going to win that football game because you're giving them extra possessions, and especially if those turnovers come with good field position, then USC could definitely win this game. With that being said, I'm taking Oregon pretty comfortably. I think they win by at least 2 touchdowns. Dante Moore has a big game if his pass catchers are back. If not, then they just continue to run the football the way they have against everybody all year. And USC's lackluster defense cost them once again.